slow to choose your partner. Something that you and I did, David, is that we decided we'd never worked together. We'd always had our separate businesses since we met, and we decided that we were going to try this podcast. We started working together on this podcast, and it helped us see that, maybe we're not going to be the best business partners if we decided to do a bigger business down the road. But we really started small, and we do well on this small element, but there are things that have come into play that said, okay, maybe if we took this to the next level and did a bigger business with this, it wouldn't really work out. And so start on something slow. Start on a slow project with the person that you're thinking about being partners with, instead of just diving in and going at it full force, and then it doesn't work out because you didn't know. You didn't start slow. You didn't have that kind of courtship dating time.
We've mentioned this briefly here as well, that Red Podcast right now, our initial agreement to do it, we have a very finite time, a finite number of episodes. So that's another thing that you can do. Just do more or less a temporary project, see if you like working with each other, then renegotiate. If you want to, you can keep on going. But if not, no hard feelings. Nothing is forever.
Or plan the check-in dates. Say, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to have a plan, and we're going to check in 3 months. And we're going to see, does this work? Do you like what you're doing? Do I like what I'm doing? And reevaluate and assess the situation as you go along, but have those stopping points where you have a chance to do that.
Number 33, she says, never air your dirty laundry as a couple in public. Let me give you a business example. A couple of episodes ago, I was talking about a book called Face the Music. It's by Paul Stanley. He's the singer for a band called Kiss. A lot of people know another guy in Kiss. His name is Gene Simmons. And you see this happen a lot of time with bands, which are partnerships, just like we're talking about. They're business partnerships, where you've got one guy in a band and he'll talk badly about another guy in a band. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. I feel that with a band or with a business, just like a marriage, it's important to have a unified front, and you want to give the illusion to your fans that things are okay, even if they're not. You can work out the bad situations that you're having in private, but in public, I do think it's important to have that unified front that things are going well. People come to you because they want a service, they want a remedy for pain, and they don't need to know about your internal strife. So I completely agree with this. Never air your dirty laundry as a partnership, as a business partnership in public. If Steve Jobs had done that with his business partners at Apple, think about that. Would you trust Apple like you do? Absolutely not.
And Steve Jobs is obviously on a really big scale that he would be airing that dirty laundry in the media. But with my business partner that I talked about in the last episode, who almost called the cops on me, she didn't actually do it in the end. But we had one of our meetings in a coffee shop, and this was right before we were about to split the partnership, because we were we were up at each other's throats, basically. So we're in this coffee shop surrounded by students studying, and we start yelling at each other. And I'm not a yeller, but I was that mad. And so we were yelling at each other, and we were just doing this whole scene in public, and it's not pretty. You do not want to do that. You got to keep those conversations private. You got to keep them more calm than we were keeping them. So, and just get it out in private. Don't go to a public area. And if you're a bigger company, obviously you wouldn't want to go to the media and deal with it that way.
No. You need to deal with that personally, because once it gets out, then people are trying to save face, and it just gets to be messy. Laurel, this one is huge. Number 34, she says, never keep secrets from each other. I think that's massive. If you've got something going on in your area of the business, a lot of times you'll see these things happen financially, like you'll get maybe tied on money and you're trying to keep it from your partner. He's out spending. You're trying to keep him from finding out about it maybe, so you're letting him spend. 100%, I would say never keep secrets from each other. If you've got a problem with a worker, if there's some kind of issue that you're running against, get on it and don't keep secrets. It's better to take care of business now than have somebody else find something later once it's gotten out of hand, or because simply the person won't trust you as much. That relates to what she says in number 36, Laurel. She says communication is the key.
I think communication is the key to everything, honestly.
Well, let me ask you this about your partnership where you're in the coffee shop and you're getting chewed out by your partner.
Oh, she was getting chewed out by me too. It was very
Well,
mutual.
maybe that was the communication, but that sounds like a situation that didn't have to get to that level. If you guys had been communicating, not keeping secrets, not keeping resentment, it probably wouldn't have gotten to that. Or had a plan going in where you were very clear on what it is that you wanted and expected from each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't quite remember. This was years and years and years ago, so I don't quite remember what we went in with our plan, but I think our problem was we were too similar. Like we brought similar things to the table and we just both started to grip on to that our way was the right way. And that's just not what you want, but we were not communicating. And when we started actually communicating, it came out as major disagreements. And I know that if we had gone in and we had planned things out and we had communicated exactly what our vision was and what our jobs would be from the very beginning, it wouldn't have come to blows. It wouldn't have come to her almost calling the cops on me.
Number 37, always respect each other. That certainly works well in a business partnership. You have to respect each other. I think when you don't respect each other is when things start blowing up like you're talking about.
Yeah, respect and communication. I mean, otherwise, why are you in the partnership? If you can't communicate with your partner, sorry, like you can't be in that partnership. And if you don't have respect for the other person, again, you can't be in that partnership. And I was reading, I think this was in the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. Have you read that one, David? I know you're
Absolutely.
Malcolm.
Every Malcolm Gladwell, I've read it. They're
Yeah,
amazing books.
I'm a big fan, but he said in one of the studies in there they were doing on people in relationships, probably married couples, and they could tell through through videotaping them for maybe 3 minutes, like giving them a topic to talk about and communicate about, videotaping them for 3 minutes, and the experts could tell whether they were going to get a divorce or not. And it really came down to respect. And if you've read the book and I'm not saying the results of the book correctly, then I apologize. But it came down to something like that about respect. Do they respect each other? And that was really the thing is if you respect the other person, you're going to have a more long-term relationship than if you don't. And they were able to see that through the topic they were communicating about.
Number 38, don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. Have you ever been in a partnership or had somebody that you're working with that just takes themselves way too seriously?
Oh, yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's awful. Everybody starts walking on pins and needles. You're afraid to make a comment. It's bad news, and it's one of those things. It's like a pressure cooker. It's going to blow up any minute.
Yeah, it'll go to hell for sure.
Yeah, so I think that's good. I think it's good for you to remember that about yourself. Certainly, you and I, Laurel, we kind of rib each other here on the podcast from time to time. It's all done in good nature.
It is. Well, I think we have fun. And I think that's what you have to remember in business is that this is supposed to be fun. I mean, you're working for yourself because you don't want to work for somebody else and because that's not fun. So keep it fun. I mean, keep it happy, keep it light. You know, there's no reason to be super serious.
Number 39, it's the little things that matter most. And I 100% agree with this. Business is just a bunch of little things. It's not a big idea. I mean, that helps. But at the end of the day, it's you doing the accounting or showing up on time or leaving on time or letting somebody else talk. It's a bunch of little things, and that's what makes the business. And that's what gets those big ideas pushing forward. So it's the little things that matters most. What do you think, Laurel?
I like it. I mean, that's all our days consist of is one little thing after the other. And if you make those things fun and you give 100% to those things, the big picture will come into play and it will all turn out okay.
And finally, we're going to wrap up this session with this one. I think this is big. Never compare your marriage, or in this case, business partnership, to others. What you see on the outside is not what is on the inside. There was a country song. It's called Behind Closed Doors. And that sums it up perfectly. We've all seen these perfect couples, these perfect partnerships, especially in entertainment, like I was mentioning, like a band situation, somebody that's a public partnership. You think, oh, those guys have it together, they get along, they're hanging out. Not necessarily. I know guys that don't talk to each other, but they can get out and they can do a 2 or 3 hour show. Put on a good show, and they do it because of the money, but they don't even talk to each other otherwise.
I like to call it the Facebook fantasy. It looks like they're having an amazing time or amazing relationship or an amazing vacation and everything's great and happy. Is it really? I mean, that's just the outer shell of what's going on. That's just what they pick and choose to show you what's going on. And when you actually talk to them, you notice that that's not really how their life exactly is.
It's the facade.
It's the facade, the Facebook facade.
Absolutely. Well, you know who doesn't have a fantasy? It's the sponsor of this show, Dave Jackson. He runs School of Podcasting, and I actually got the idea for this episode from him. This guy, he's got a few podcasts. One of them, he brings his wife on, and they talk about their marriage. It's not always pretty.
Really? Are they airing their dirty laundry on there?
Well, I think that they're working some things out.
That sounds exciting.
I think it's very honest. It's not the facade. And I got the idea from Dave. He runs School of Podcasting. If you're interested in doing your own podcast, he can get you set up cheap. I know there are a lot of guys out there, thousands of dollars is what they charge to show you how to put up a podcast. It's not that expensive. The equipment's not that expensive. Dave can get you set up. $50, I think, is what schoolofpodcasting.com cost.
And it's just so much easier to get a plan of how to do podcasting so you don't have to figure out all the little components that go into it. Just go through School of Podcasting and it's like done.
Yeah, just done. Just pay him. He's been doing this thing for 10 years. He's learned the hard way. Cost him a lot more than $50, I guarantee you. And he can also help you with equipment as well. Because how many times, Laurel, have you bought a piece of equipment, it's not what you need, even the cable?
Oh my gosh. There's so many options and you just don't know what's going to work and what's in your price range and, all that stuff. So he just takes care of all that.
So these gifts that we're about to give away, we're in the middle of 30 days of red hot giveaways. If you want to get involved, here's how to do it. Go to redpodcast.com/giveaway. You can also leave us a review on iTunes. And I'm going to start things off with somebody on the list at redpodcast.com/giveaway. Going to give him a Blinkist subscription. Blinkist is great. We've been talking about it all month. Book summaries you get on your iPad. You can basically read a book in 7-10 minutes. Done. Get all the big ideas from it. It's really, really great. And I'm going to give this one to David Ezel.
David, I know David. Congratulations, David.
David, thanks for signing up. Blinkist subscription for you. Email us at hello@redpodcast.com. We'll also be in touch with you. And I've got a book that I want to send out. This is a book that I read. It's by a man named Adam Grant. And he wrote a book called Give and Take. Have you read that?
I haven't read that one.
You've heard people talking about it, though, right?
Absolutely.
I think it works really well for what we're talking about here, business partnerships. It's about giving, but it's not giving so much that you forget why you're there in the first place, because if somebody's going to give, somebody's got to take, right?
Right.
So this is a book, Adam Grant. It's called Give and Take. And I'm going to give this to Martin Alex. It's a guy that I picked. He reviewed us on iTunes. I appreciate that. He said our podcast is promising and insightful. That is appreciated, Martin. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
redpodcast.com/giveaway to sign up for the mailing list, or leave a review on iTunes. That is appreciated. Just search for Red Podcast. Laurel, thanks so much. I'll see you on the next episode.
You've been listening to Red Podcast, Real Entrepreneur Development. Subscribe today using iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS at redpodcast.com.